Taub here. Hope all's going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. I'm really excited about today's lesson because I'm going to show you a way that you could easily add something different into your blues rock playing. It's a little trick that's involving bending some strings, but it's something that's different. You know, there's lots of lessons out there online with blues licks and blues rock licks and all kinds of stuff like that, but a lot of it is the same old worn out roads, you know, so I want to give you something different to work on and to think about that will, you know, put a little different spice or maybe take in a little different direction with your playing, right? And this way, maybe it will help you in your search for your own voice on lead guitar. I'm tuned to standard A440 tuning, so go ahead and tune your guitars low to high, E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now I'm also using a jam track in this lesson, and it's just a simple 1-4-5 12-bar minor key blues. We're in the key of B minor. The chords are a B minor 7th to an E minor 7th to an F sharp minor 7th. And the turnaround is an F sharp 7 sharp 9. But it's a simple 1-4-5 blues. And 1-4-5 blues minor key, you could do a lot of things. You could use minor pentatonic and blues scales, like you heard me doing in the intro. I also used a little bit of natural minor scales, Aeolian mode, so that you can create a lot of different sounds. And it's really all about the sounds. And listen for the chord changes too, because a lot of what I was doing, I was changing my note or changing the scale or changing my approach as the chords change. And you know, jam tracks are so important. They're invaluable for the practicing guitarist, right? And if you want some cool jam tracks, I could send you my jam tracks coach for free. 6 killer sounding jam tracks plus 2 ebooks. And in ebooks, I go one by one over the track. And I tell you, you know, what the chords are in the track, what scales, you know, to try over the track, some different soloing strategies and approaches. And I draw it all out for each track. And then in the second ebook, I diagram out all the scales in case you don't know the scales. Because sometimes looking at them on paper is really helpful. So I'll tell you what, I'll send them both to you for free. 6 jam tracks, 2 ebooks. Just click on that link below. And by the way, for the instructional purposes, I have the delay off and the distortion turned down. So I just have a little bit of reverb. Medium level of gain. All right, so the jam track is in the key of B minor. So we're going to use as an example B minor pentatonic and blues expanded 1 scale. That scale looks like this. Okay, so you really want to have that under your fingers and really know that scale backwards and forwards for this technique to work. And know where your root notes are. In this instance, we have 3 Bs in this scale. Low E string, you have on the D string, 9th fret, you have another B up here at the 12th fret on the B string, right? And it's also an interesting place to note where the blue notes are. Now you have one there, and you get a third one here. Okay, and if you want to land on the 4 chord and the 5 chord, remember, the 1 is your B, the 4 will always be directly underneath that on the A string. If you're pointing to the key or the root note on the low E string, B, go straight down to the A string, and there's our 4 chord, which is our E. It's our E note, and then just go up a whole step from that, and you have F sharp. So our 1, 4, 5. It's an easy way to find the 1, the 4, and 5 in any key based off of the root note on the low E string. Okay, so what this trick involves is, you know, I'm a big proponent of getting really good at bending strings. And most of the time, you want to be super accurate with your bends, whether you're doing a half step or whole step. Bending and pitch is so important. You're bending up to the next note in the scale or the note after that. And you want to make sure you're hitting that pitch, otherwise it's going to sound a little out of tune. But here in this technique, we're going to purposely sound a little out of tune, to add a little nastiness to our sound, add a little bit of stank. So what I did, and you heard me do this in the intro, is I was bending notes just a little bit, not even a quarter of a step. Right? And as long as you don't hang on them too long, the dissonance sounds more kind of out there and hip and cool, and not like something that sounds like you're playing a wrong note. Okay, so what you want to do is this. So if we just take it for first 4 notes of the scale, right? So I'm playing and I'm just pushing down a little bit. Again, maybe just a quarter step if that. There's our root. There's our flat third, that D note. Now you could bend quite a bit. And that's a really cool note to bend because you get that minor to major third flavor. It's kind of a little bit of minor, a little bit of major, right? And that's the D note. Here's one, here's another one. And your third one. It's nice to resolve it to the root. Okay, so just get comfortable. Little bend. Put the jam track on, and you'll see that that's really going to add that little bit of nastiness. You don't necessarily want to do it every time or overuse it. And then you can do that little chromatic movement, 7, 8, 9, adding your blue note. See again how I bent that note a little bit? Just those little bends, really, you'll find, will really add some stink. And you can... There's our D note again, that's our flat third. See there, I'm bending to the blue note on the G string. Okay, and here you saw me do it here. And if you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel and ring that subscription bell, right? Because that really helps us to keep bringing the content, as well as then you'll be notified when I have new lessons posted. Also, please leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson, what lessons you'd like to see coming up. And if you like the video, please click the like button. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. So again, I'm not saying that just bend everything indiscriminately and you're going to be out of tune all the time and you just do. I'm saying you could throw it in for some effect, right, and have some fun with it, but just kind of get comfortable moving around that scale. Take the notes and work them. Right, adding vibrato, sliding, instead of just playing the note. And adding the blue note, bend, vibrato. I don't know what you're playing, you know, you're gonna... When you mix in a nice whole step bend. Now I'm mixing in natural minor. Adding these half steps. Resolving to our root note. I'm really working the notes and I'm adding all these techniques. The vibrato, the bending, the slides, the hammer-ons, the pull-offs. And that's what makes your soloing, and that's what makes your improvisation sound interesting, where you're not just playing, where it's sounding like you're playing scales up and back, up and back, up and back, right? And try to listen when the chord changes. So, you know, you want to hover around that B note, right, on the 1 chord. But then when it changes to the 4 chord, listen. There's my 4 chord, B, I'm going to get on the E note. Back to the 1 chord in that 12-bar pattern. I'm back on the E. I'm back on the B, sorry. In the 5 chord, there's my F sharp. Half step chromatic move to the 4 chord. There's the 1 chord. So you can hear that. That almost sounds like the rhythm progression because I'm outlining the chords, right, as I'm soloing, with chord tones, notes that make up the chord, right? It's so important to study that relationship between chords and scales. It's not just about the key, right? And knowing what chords, what notes you like over which scales sound best to your ears over which chord, right? And that's so important to study that relationship. So give this a try, you know, try those little bends, you know, it's just adding that little bit of out of tuneness that really adds a little bit of stank to your playing, and it sounds a little bit different, and you could really milk it and do it fast, do it slow. It's an easy way that you could quickly get some different sounds into your playing, right? Have fun with it. Remember, subscribe to the channel, ring that subscription bell. That really helps us to keep the content coming, as well as don't forget to click on that link in the YouTube description box below and get my free jam track coach. 6 killer jam tracks, 2 ebooks. Send them both to you for free. Just click on that link below. Thanks so much for checking out this lesson. Thank you so much for your support over the years and years. So appreciated. Stay tuned. I got lots more killer content and lessons coming. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. So enjoy the journey. Take care, rock on. See you in the next lesson.